Wonderful stuff. That was Immersion live in session. As long as I'm Marc Riley, 4-6 music. And so let's get to it then. So Colin Newman, you've been played sessions for us and various different guises over the years. Tonight I'm delighted to welcome you here with your mates. And so would you like to introduce the band, please, sir?
I will, yes, certainly. So Immersion per se are Malka, my partner in life and crime, and myself, Malka Spiegel that is. But we brought with us a couple of friends from the band Holiday Ghosts, and that is Katja Rakin and Sam Stackpole, who are standing over there.
Hello.
Hello, again,
Hello.
Friends of the programme, and lovely to see you again.
And we have also some friends inside the box, the Ghosts in the Machine.
We shall get to them,
I'll introduce them as well because you've been hearing them so far in the show. They are also Mr. Jack Walter and Mr. Matt Schultz and Mr. Thor Harris.
Right, okay. So if we can go back to the beginning, so when did you start this thing called Immersion then? Because it was a while back, wasn't it?
We started in the kind of 90s because we were kind of like from rock bands, and then we got attracted to electronic music because techno and drum and bass was like really exciting and fresh. So we got into that, and we did kind of Immersion, which was kind of instrumental and electronic.
So it's just a kind of a palate cleanser for you, really, from what you were used to playing?
Yeah, we tend to always look for new things and things that kind of excite us. So, yeah, you get bored being in a rock band and all that. So
yeah, we pretended to be German.
Well, you can get bored being in a rock band. You need to try telling that to Mick Jagger because he's 81 and he's still doing it, and he's been doing the same thing for decades. But anyway, so obviously, so you're mentioning the German kind of angle to it.
Yeah, we kind of decided that. Well, I can't say the words on radio, but those people in the rock press used to describe techno as faceless techno, a word beginning with B and ending in S.
Right.
And we thought, that's amazing. It's like jungle. Jungle was a put down, but people embraced it, because that's what you do. And so we just thought, yeah, that's exactly. We love the facelessness of it. We don't have to sing on. We can make music we don't have to sing on, and we can just put it out instrumental. And we don't have to say who we are.
Sure, and I mean, of course, you don't have to look that far, particularly, Colin, going back to your education, because one of your lecturers was Brian Eno, which
He was, yeah.
Which is not, a massive kind of leap of faith from what Immersion are doing.
Yeah, in a way, although I didn't see it, I didn't feel a direct influence. But what happened was over the years, I mean, we did Immersion through the 90s, and then the rock sort of, we became more involved in doing band type of stuff. So then Wire came back round the block in the 2000s, and we also had a band called Gethead, which was a stand-up rock band. We also did a session for you guys.
You did?
And we sort of, we kind of drifted away from Immersion. And then when we moved to Brighton in 2014, we thought, wouldn't it be nice to have something that's just us, that we don't have to rely on anyone else to turn up? So we started making music together again as Immersion, deliberately doing it. And then, of course, it expanded.
you made it even more complicated than a straightforward band by drawing other people in from all over the world.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's about collaboration. I mean, we love collaborating with people, and it's just inspiring, and it opens you up. And the more you open, the more you invite people in, and it kind of grows. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, and it also obviously depends on who you invite in. And you've mentioned already Thor Harris, who came, I think he was part and parcel of a Swan session a good few years ago. A remarkable character, but obviously a percussionist. So how did he influence the direction of Immersion?
So we started something called Nana Cluster. In around 2016, 2017, we just started as an event, really, doing an event in Brighton and having a collaboration. And we did 4 collaborations with the German band Tarwater, with Ulrich Schnaus, with Letitia Sadier and Scanner. And they're all performances. And then we put an album out in 2021 of those performances, which we'd made into a record in the studio.
but you start with exchanging like very basic tracks, and then the other person or people play on top of it, and you kind of layer it between you until you get somewhere like a meeting place between the two.
It's like that parlour game where you get a piece of paper and somebody writes a little scenario, then you fold it over, and then somebody else writes the next part of the, and none of it kind of, I mean, it falls together in the end, but it's something almost like the cut-up technique, you know, that Bowie took from William Burroughs and various other people.
Maybe there's an element of it, but I mean, sort of post-pandemic, we thought, okay, because when we did the first volume of Nanocluster, all the people we worked with were friends, and then because we have our radio show, we started to know other artists outside of our immediate circle, and Thor was one of those people. We actually, the first time we heard Thor Harris's project, Thor and Friends, was actually on your show.
Right. Okay.
And we were like, but he's kind of in that American minimalist percussion kind of tradition, and we're quite into that as a style of music. And we thought about, as 2023, we wanted to do a Nanocluster performance at South by Southwest. We've never done it outside of Brighton, and so we talked to the organisers and decided that we were going to do it with Thor. We rehearsed in his house.
Right.
It was the house he built himself.
It's amazing. I mean, when you do that, you get to know the people and you become friends. And yeah, he's amazing.
He builds his own instruments. And,
He's
all
got
manner of things.
a wooden tap in his bathroom. So
Was he really?
Yeah, because he's a carpenter.
Right.
And a carpenter and a plumber. And the other collaboration on that album was with Jack Walter Kubzoa, who's half of Penelope Isles, who I'm sure you've had on this show.
Definitely.
And he's someone obviously from Brighton. But we have in the room with us two people from a collaboration that we're still working on, which is with Kat and Sam from Holiday Ghost, who we've already started doing some work with and hanging out and, you know, putting ideas across and trying to figure out how we make it work.
I mean, it's going to be different again because they come from another world and we find a meeting place.
Yeah, of course. And you did mention that there are two couples within this version of Immersion, which just puts me in mind of ABBA. No, you're not having that.
Well, maybe that is what we're trying to go for.
Yeah.
Trying to be the next ABBA.
All you need are jumpsuits and, you know...
I got those already.
Oh, well, you're halfway there, aren't you? Excellent stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Colin, you did just mention that yourself and Malka have a radio programme.
Yeah.
And you know, if I look at my phone now, it is just full, brimming full of people in bands because I'm lucky enough to be in this situation. I always say that John Peel had thousands and thousands of sessions and just a wonderful... jewel in the crown kind of thing at the BBC, but most of them are recorded in Maida Vale, as you'll have done many.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm lucky enough to be in a room with people, and so it does open up a different world to you, doesn't it? All of the people that you're meeting now that you just mentioned.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we met Kat and Sam actually at a Kubzoa gig.
Right.
Yeah, they were outside
during the Great Escape,
and
wasn't
started
it?
talking, and it's amazing. I mean, it also opens you as a musician, so you hear lots of music when you have a radio show.
Yeah.
And then it inspires you back into your own creation. So it's like a growing thing.
Yeah, fabulous. Okay. So have you got any dates lined up? Are you doing any shows?
There is a tour, there's an Immersion tour which is in the process of being booked for November. There's a couple of confirmed dates which I can't remember. There will be a list at some point which we hope to issue to various people who might read it out on the radio as we do read out dates ourselves.
100%, mate. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so Immersion live in session. You've got two more songs to do. If you do them back to back with as little a gap in between, very, very nice indeed. Okay. So what are you going to do first?
So this one's called It's Not About Me, and it is about as direct as I get.
Okay, I'll brace myself.
Saying, and there's no swear words in it, but yeah, what can you say? Thanks to everybody for being here. Okay.
Are we doing it?
Are we doing it? Oh, yeah, I think we're doing it, are we? Oh, yeah. All right, I have to press start.